In this video and the next two videos, we're going to take a look at a common use of derivatives, which is thinking about the tangent line that goes through a curve at a specific point, and then we're going to use that line in order to estimate the value of a function at some value that we don't know. Let's take a look at the problem I've got in mind here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to write a tangent, write the equation of the tangent to the curve, f of x equals the square root of x at x equals 4. And then in the next video, we're going to use that to estimate the square root of 4.1 without using a calculator. And then in the third video, we're going to talk about thinking about the equation of the square root of x, and we're going to come to a realization of whether this estimate we come up with is going to be either too high or too low. So let's do the first step first, writing the equation of a line. So what we're going to use for this equation is we're going to use the point slope form of a line. And this is one of those things you learned in probably geometry. And the point slope form of a line is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. If you divided both sides of the equation by x minus x1, it would look a lot like the definition of slope. So that's a good way to remember this. And so this is going to work if m is the slope of the line and x1 comma y1 is some point on the line. Okay, so how can we figure out x1, y1, and m from this function, knowing that f of x is equal to the square root of x? Well, we have that x1 is equal to, x1 is equal to 4. That's what they told us right there. And to find y1, the y value of the point that goes through this curve, we're just going to calculate f of x1. And that's just the square root of 4, which is equal to 2. And the last thing is the slope of the line. And so the slope of the line is, what is slope in terms of calculus? Well, slope is derivative. So that's the derivative of f evaluated at x1. All right, so let's think about what that is. So f, let's write it this way. F of x is equal to the square root of x, which we can also write that as x to the 1/2 power. And we have taken the derivative of the square root of x so many times that I want to just kind of jump ahead. And remember that it's 1/2 times the square root of x. That's just using the power rule and taking that back into radical form. So we just need to substitute 4 into that, and we're going to find the slope of the tangent to the curve at that point. So that's 1/2 times the square root of 4. Square root of 4 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So that's just 1/4. So the answer to part A, the equation of this tangent line, is y minus 2 is equal to 1/4 times x minus 4. All right. And when I'm doing this, I really like leaving it in this form. You could distribute and shuffle things around and get that into point slope form, or sorry, into slope intercept form, but that's just opportunity to make algebraic mistakes along the way. So why don't we just leave it in this form, which is a linear relation between x and y. It's good enough for us. In the next video, we'll see how we can use that in order to come up with an estimate of the square root of 4.1 without using a calculator to do that.